Good morning, everyone. Today is June the 3rd, and this is the Futures in 5, taking a look at 5 charts sitting in the futures. What we are doing is coming off of a fairly solid bounce event. It's deep into negative territory, so we know the bounces are going to give us sell zones, right? The question is where, okay? And so we've got the first step around 53, which we should be moving into, and then a fade that comes back. Could this be sharp? Potentially, but the reason I've got the depth of market here up for you to see is because of these things sitting right here. A lot of sellers, so we've got to get up, push past them, and then pull back and hold them as support. That's what we'll be looking for there. But this is essentially where we should recover. It's going to build us a little bit of an inverted head and shoulders pattern. We should congest down in this area. Frankly, I did not think we would leave this area and move northward. So at a really tough time up at the top, always waiting for that breakdown. So it did come. Now what we're seeing is bounce, and I think it ought to get fairly congested, right? We've got a lot of news that is a cross current event. Here we are coming right down to the area. Same sort of thing, right? We have 70.27 and then 70.50, really 70.48 or so. This is still very negative. We know the bounces are going to bring us selling pressure. It just is what's going to happen in this kind of environment. If I slip this down just a bit, it still holds fairly well, right? And it'll show up this area as resistance first and then this area. But to be sure, chasing a bounce, no matter how fierce it seems, is just going to be a day trade. Even, I mean, intraday trade, probably, right? Because there's just going to be a lot of difficulty having that price action move. All right, taking a look at this, what a beautiful automatic pattern from Motive Wave here. You know, I love Motive Wave, absolutely love it. It came right into the deeper targets and began to bounce. This area we need to hold optimally. And then certainly if it fades, it should bounce. But here's the thing, all the bounces are going to fade at the first pass. So if you're chasing this bounce up, thinking you're going to have some brand new rally because of whoever said what or wherever, you are going to have a formation that says, I'm going to run right into resistance. And that resistance could be as high as this area or as low as this area. So we're looking at 24,832 all the way up to 24,931. So you just want to be super careful there. With oil, oil hasn't moved with this ABCD pattern um, as coming into the space as wide as it should have, but it did come in to the markers. It's just very, very steep. Now, here's the thing. When you have an extended ABCD pattern that really comes right into the target and begins to bounce, and it's this steep, we're going to run into resistance. All right? It just is the nature of the beast. That's what this alert formation is telling me. And it's telling me it's really battling at this area. If we want to look at depth of market here, we can, but it's just going to tell you that what the chart is doing is running into sellers and moving back and forth here. Big bounces could be likely, folks. I mean, we've already moved $4 off of, no, $2 off of the low. We could move $4 off of the low before it's done, but that is a very steep formation. 6 days to get here and 2 days essentially to get here. So bounces, look for the fade action. This is relief bounce. It could come all the way to this area, but my thought is that oil stays down in this zone because of the overall global slowdown event. Gold, which um, we just started looking at this new contract, really 1323 to 1327, 1328, really a big resistance area. My thought is if we don't see it close up over 1320 in the next candlestick event, and we're going to shift this down to the 4 hour so we can see what's going on. See that? That is a monster move. It is a very, very big move and fairly unusual. Okay, and so um, that is it from that perspective. Okay, so there we have the big bounce. It's very, very steep. Could be the dollar, could be the flight to safety, could be all kinds of different things. But for me, especially under the limited volume event, any kind of big spike means it's over for now. I expect it to fade and then pull back into a good buy zone. This is not a good buy zone, particularly to hold. All right, take care. That's it, and I will see you tomorrow.